Merry Christmas, everybody. Welcome back to Dan United. I hope you've had a fantastic Christmas. Mine, as you can tell, has been quite heavy, but we have got plenty to talk about. We have got that Newcastle game to speak about. I was a little busy with Mrs. Robinson, so I was put off the live stream. But I hope everyone's had a fantastic couple of days. It's been fantastic for me. It's been stress-free, which is what I like. Manchester United obviously doing bits. Clubs around us doing what they're doing their absolute best to push us into a European push. And that is why I say, with love, can United finally get excited? Amorim's push, man. I'll start this before we go into anything with a poll. And it's simple. Are we in a push? I want you all to let me know what your thoughts are on there. And I will go through the comments in a second. But look, conversations are needed. Conversations are needed because for some reason, this Premier League season, this weird Premier League season, somehow has managed to drag Manchester United and us as fans into this European conversation. Now, I think it goes without saying, if this was a normal Premier League season, if teams below us, obviously Forest did so well last season. You look at Liverpool starting to find some form now. There are clubs around us, Newcastle we'll get onto in a minute, but clubs around us have failed miserably. And because of that, we seem to be in a position where we're doing okay in the table. Now, I think this next 4 weeks, and I seem to be saying this every bloody month, but this next 4 weeks that we're going to see with January is so, I'm going to say it, it's so fucking important, guys. Okay? Do we get excited? Yeah, we do. And we've got a lot to go through tonight. And I'm really excited to go through. I feel like I haven't spoke to you all for ages. We have got, obviously, the pluses of what's happened so far, the negatives, where we're going wrong still. We have got news on Xerxes. We have got news on transfers coming in potentially. We have also got the injury updates. We've got a bit on Christian Eriksen, who seems to like to remind us that he played for us once, with some thoughts on some comments from Amorim last season. But look, let's start with the whole, let's address it. Newcastle. 1-0, clean sheet. Everybody was buzzing. Dorgu had a fantastic finish, playing wide right, which, I mean, surprised a lot of us. I'm seeing a lot of people saying, Dorgu's incredible. He played right wing. He was brilliant. He was this, he was that. Was he brilliant because he was out of the way of doing the defensive work for a lot of the game, which meant we weren't hit? I'm asking the question. Don't come for me. I'm asking the question. You've got to say it right. Manchester United depleted. Okay, Manchester United have 0 people there. They are struggling. We have got so many kids on the bench. We are struggling to put an 11 together that we hope can go out there and do things. And Newcastle, man, Newcastle cannot come away from now. I'm going to see Pete and the Loaded Mag boys tomorrow on their Race for Europe. They had their chances. Newcastle absolutely had their chances. Eddie Howe come out and made some ridiculous comments about time wasting. Yeah, if I remember rightly, I think Ramsdale was on his arse in the 8th minute while you were trying to sort your tactics out when Manchester United did something that we didn't expect Amorim to do, which was start with a flat back 4-2-3-1. Yeah, what happened? But there were underlying problems with this performance. Okay, the second half, I have no fingernails. I've got 0 fingernails because we reverted. We made some very bizarre changes. Amorim made some very bizarre substitutions. And I think towards the end of it, it was attack versus defence. Attack versus defence. It was very, very tough. It was a tough watch. But as Roy Keane said, would you rather sit here and say, fantastic, we were mint, we did all these things, we had 30 chances, 1-1-0, or would you say, do you know something? We've got the 3 points. The 3 points were so much more important than the performance. So kudos to the manager for going and against what he said, which was this 3-4-3 is going to be where it is. And I've got a bit on that as well that I want to talk about in a sec. But yeah, Newcastle, man. Newcastle, I'm worried for Newcastle. I'm not a Newcastle fan. If Queen Sophie was here, which I wonder if she will be tonight, I'm sure she would be just as angry, well, just as worried herself. It's a weird time for Newcastle fans. They had the keys to the kingdom. We were led to believe that Newcastle, coming off the back of winning the Carabao Cup, this was it now. They were going to push up the table. You weren't ready. You weren't ready for Newcastle. I wasn't ready. Kev wasn't ready. Yeah, Mrs. Robinson wasn't ready. But what happened was their transfer targets, their transfer plannings was a complete mess. And towards the end of it, they did what United have done so many times, which is just went out and grabbed as many as they could. So let's go through the comments, and then we'll go through some bits and pieces. Weren't we in a crisis in the previous stream? Well, haha. That's why I said, can Man United fans finally get excited with a question mark? Merry Christmas, buddy. Hope you're well. Good to see you, Ben. Hope you had a nice Christmas. Kev. If you know, you know. Carl, good to see you, my dude. He says, I'm not going to go ahead and say the other night with the players we were missing was the biggest win of the whole season so far for that reason. Okay, fair enough. Jamie says, good evening, Dan. Everyone, hope you had a great Christmas. I certainly did. Sunderland and Chelsea dropping points was decent for us. I want to get this myth done, right? If any of you watched the CM Punk pipe bomb, and he started with this comment about John Cena, he said, I hate this idea that you are the best. I hate this idea that Chelsea fans, Charlie, who is backtracking so quickly now, think that they have a title contending team. Think that I see people post day 160 whatever of your world champions. I see them and I hear them, and I watched them last night. They were absolutely shocking second half. Shocking. And they have spent so much money. They have spent more money than Manchester United. I think it's time that everybody really now realises that this Chelsea team is fraudulent. I watched Garnacho roll around every 10 minutes and thought, yeah, I used to watch that a lot. Chelsea, we can finish above Chelsea this season. Make no doubt about that. Make no doubt about that. Wahaha says, I was happy with Amorim for once. Did subs to keep players fit despite having no one on the bench. Fair. How good was Dorgu against Newcastle? Attacking, he was decent. He was very good. Calling Queen Sophie. He was good in the position he played in the other night, but has to be consistent wherever he plays. I agree, Carl. You have to win ugly, and that was an ugly, very ugly win, but 3 points is 3 points. I agree. To be honest, with Dorgu, it looked as simple as that he knew exactly what we wanted from him. When he's been at left wing back, I think he's never sure when to drop deep, when to press, when to push forward. I agree with that. And Heaven, I'm telling you now, guys, let me take a swig. Let me take a sip of some libation before I start saying what I'm about to say. Oh, that's nice, that is. That's nice. I was wrong. There it is. There it is. The one thing about this YouTube game, the one thing about this whole community, the one thing about being on YouTube itself is there's no hiding places when you call out players. There's no hiding places when you get things wrong. And when we saw Heaven against West Brom, fucking hell, Dan, West Ham, I wasn't impressed. I was not impressed. I said, this is catastrophic. This is catastrophic. But fast forward, this guy's played, 5 games in a row now? I saw this kid playing like he had been playing Premier League football for the last 10 years. The little drop of the shoulder to take it away from Visser and Voltemade, gone, see you later. The confidence playing out from the back. This kid's 19 years old, and please remember that. He's 19 years old, and he's going to make mistakes. I think people forget that about Lenny Yoro. I've seen a lot of United fans get on Yoro's back. 20 years old, he's going to make mistakes. There are games where I go, fucking hell, Yoro, but I know the long situation here. I know the long game with him. Heaven was really, really mature in the way that he played. That was a maturity from a 19-year-old playing centre-back in the Premier League against a big boy in Voltemade. He had Gordon coming from one side. He had Jacob Murphy coming from the other side. That was fantastic. And that is what we want to see. Because look, and we'll go through the injuries that are going to return shortly, but players are going to come back. And it is up to Heaven to be saying to the likes of De Ligt, to be saying to the likes of Martinez, whoa. Clean sheet last game. I've been playing pretty decent. Your job is to take this position off me now. That's his job. And I was bowled over by how mature that lad played. Strong in the air, picks the ball up, doesn't mind looking, holding a breath for a second, then making that pass instead of just picking the ball up, lumping it up the field. This kid's got a big future. We've got to look after him now. Dan, you will love hearing that Martinez was great as centre-back and that's where he should stay. The game's the game. The game's the game. Look, Carl, I am more than happy that you got your Christmas present and you got Martinez in central defensive midfield. I do also think that Agate did very well the other night. I do think Agate was he wasn't world class. He was a 6.5 out of 10. I thought he did well. Heaven did look good. Seemed really comfortable on the ball too. Do you know something, Ben? And look, I'm going to get clipped up for this. Look at my hair. I need a haircut. I'm going to get clipped up for this, and I don't care because it's Christmas spirit. He reminded me so much of what Rio used to do against Newcastle. And I'm not putting him in the bracket of Rio yet. I am not doing that. But I'm of an age. I'm 39. I remember when Rio Ferdinand burst onto the scene. Mika Richards there for you. I remember Rio Ferdinand doing exactly what Heaven did against Newcastle. And we can get gassed. And we should get gassed a little bit. We should also have realism. As I said, his age. But that performance was very Rio. Very Rio. Very, very Rio. What was your thoughts on Agate against Newcastle? But Xerxes was appalling. Wahaha, are you still in the building? I thought Xerxes was disgraceful when he come on. I heard the fans. I saw the manager go at him, and we've got news on Xerxes shortly, actually. And yeah, I agree, it was one of his better performances. What are we saying in the vote, by the way, guys? I have put a poll. I've put a poll on there. Put it straight away tonight. Are we in a European hunt at the moment? 78% of you are saying yes. So make sure you smash a like on the video. Make sure that you are subscribing. Make sure you hit the bell notification. Now then, hang on a minute. For the first time, I'm in a buzzing mood tonight. I'm back with you, beautiful people. For the first time in a while, I saw players step up when it was neat. Look, yes, agree. And Johnny, I think you were just about to do a bit of meatloaf there and took the words right out of my mouth. Was happy with the first half, but the way Amorim seemed to completely switch the formation and system in the second half disappointed me. I think in the second half, and we'll talk about that shortly, I genuinely feel like he kind of shit the bed a little bit. I think we were 1-0. We were being hit with wave after wave after wave, and he went, right, I'm shutting up shop here. I'm just going to fill it with defenders and just hope to God that we keep the clean sheet. This is where I talk about where Manchester United in the past have bottled it, getting that early goal and then trying to just ride it out and see it out. We saw it against Forest. We saw it against Spurs. Saw it against West Ham. You've got to be bold. I know we haven't got all the players there. I get that. But the first half, I thought we were exceptional, man. I don't know. We were just defending when Xerxes come on. Barely had anyone to play with. Did some things poorly. Did some things well. It was the chasing for me, Wahaha. And Ben, I agree, was very lazy. Like you put the difference between Sesko on the pitch. You see the difference between Xerxes. I know they're different players, but I just feel like if I'm Xerxes, I'm coming on and I'm running my arse off. I mean, it's Old Trafford, man. He always seems to have bad performances against Newcastle. He only invited more pressure in the second half. He absolutely did. And good to see you, Akko. I hope you had a great Christmas. Now, I wanted to bring a couple of things up, right? So let me bring this to the table first. This is the last 10 games of Manchester United's season, okay? Now, look, the positive things are we've got 2 losses in the last 10, coming against Everton, coming against Villa. Draws, we've got 4 draws. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 4 wins. We are in a situation here where we're doing okay. The goals conceded are a problem. They are a problem. And I fully expect us, when we get the more experienced boys back in the team, to be able to combat that. But here's something I wanted you all to look at, right? I wanted you to look at, we're scoring a lot of goals, chat. We are 3rd in the table for goals scored. And let me bring the Premier League table up as it stands tonight. We are 6th in the Premier League, joint points with the mighty Chelsea. Sunderland dropped points tonight. Brentford, who, by the way, I owe Keith Andrews a massive apology, doing well. Palace losing. Fulham obviously getting their win. But Manchester United, going into the game against Wolves at home on Tuesday, they've got a big, big opportunity, because after that, it's Leeds away, who haven't done fantastic this season. After that, it's Burnley. There are 3 winnable games here for Manchester United to really push. We could see ourselves on 38 points. We could see ourselves on 38 points, chat. This is a madness. I'll bring that table back up in a second. I wanted to show that. Let me go through some more of these comments. After seeing the post-match comments from Amorim too, where he seemed almost snarky, I wonder if he's upset that the back 4 works way better. I must say, look, I'm going to say this about Amorim. I am going to say this, as much as it did come across snarky. I did have a little chuckle when he said, clean sheet tonight, Kobe Mainoo's injured, I may as well go home. We don't need to do a press conference. I did laugh at that. I will say that. If we have a chance, I'll start that because there is stuff on Xerxes, so don't worry about that. Red Devil Radar, hope you're well. Good to see you. Nutrition95 says Manchester United youth won't again be world class because of social media. If Ronaldo was 17 years old again, he wouldn't survive those poor years. That's an age thing. Nutrition95, I completely agree with you. Manchester United, it's not just United, it's youth players across the world. They all think that they are owed everything right now instead of having to earn it, instead of having to graft and do what they did. Well, what the class of 92 did, what Ronaldo did. And make sure you're hitting the likes up. Palace did lose as well. Yep, Kev, I saw that. Fifth should get Champions League. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. And hopefully win the FA Cup. Let's get 5 wins before the City match. I would absolutely love that. Now, look, here's some pluses. Here's some pluses I want to go through with you. And I got my notes. On this. Now, it's fine margins, let's be honest, that have let United down this season. It is. It is fine margins. 3 to 4 points separated fifth to 7th and 8th. We've got to be consistent in the upcoming games, guys, because one loss, it opens it up again. We need to be building a buffer now between us and 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th and further down. United need to be doing that. We need credit in the bank when we play City, when we play Arsenal. You know what I mean? When we've got the tough teams coming like Brighton, we've got to play them away. So we need to make sure we do that. Now, there are some pluses. He will not want to say this with a smile on his face. He will not. Of course he won't, because he has been so bold in the way that he has spoke about 3-4-3 being the way forward. And this is the way we're going to do it. This is the new Manchester United style. This is blah, 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 blah. That's what he said. But then we saw an exploration of 4-3-3. Wolves, Bournemouth. We also saw against Newcastle, he went to the 4-2-3-1. 4-2-3-1, 4-4-2 out of possession. And what did that show us? Abandoning that back three, I think putting Luke Shaw back to the left side, having Diogo Dalot at right back, I think it showed so much more control for Manchester United. Now, look, we have got players missing. And is this something, and Carl's already put it in there, is this something that we see him doing for the rest of the season? My heart says, yes, do it, please, please, please. But my head says no. I think at the moment he has abandoned that 3-4-3 because he simply doesn't have the players to do it. Now, the only thing that can happen for Manchester United, the only thing that can happen for us to hopefully have some sort of positivity in bringing this formation, keeping this formation where we want, is that we go on now and we keep playing this 4-2-3-1 or 4-4-2 out of possession and we keep getting the results. Because I'm here to tell you, chat, straight away that a 4-2-3-1 with Bruno fit, with Cunha and Brian and Sesko, I think that's a scary formation. I think we do far more. I think we show ourselves in a better light. I think we've got more creativity. I think in that instance, you can put Casemiro with Agate or Agate with Mainoo or Mainoo with Casemiro. It opens up more slots for people to be able to play in that midfield. The 3-4-3 is a discussion that we have had for so long, where we have gone back and forth. Does it work? Well, he hasn't got the players, but he's got some of the players, but it should be working by now. It is actually working now, but it's fine margins. We've gone back and forth with this. I think now there is a moment, I think, where he's looked at it and he's gone, do you know something? I don't have the players yet to do this formation. But I'm not going to admit that. I'm not going to say, oh, well, it's not my fault. I think he's basically come out and said, look, I'm going to have to adapt a little bit until we get the players that I need in this formation. And, okay, some of us would say fair play. That's what we wanted to hear. That's what we wanted to hear. Some of us would say this is probably 6 months, 12 months too late. You know, he should have done this from the start with the team he had. Some of us, in fact, all of us know that if he gets the players he wants, then yeah, maybe it will look a better formation. But I think the players looked so much more comfortable in that first half playing in this formation with the other lads coming back as well. I didn't even bring Ahmad into the situation. You have then got players vying for these spots that make it a competitive squad. FA Cup's coming. I fucking hope to Christ we get through that round against Brighton. We then get into a conversation here where we're looking at having players that can come on for players and change games. At this point in the season, the subs we're making them because we have to. We're making them because we have to. Now, is there a situation here where maybe the owners have said, look, Ruben, by hook or by crook, we're in this form. We're in the top 6 here. You're going to have to change stuff up here. You're going to have to move something about for us here, kidder. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. The minuses are the last 5. I mean, we've conceded 28 goals this season so far. That's 1.5 per game. That's rough. That is rough. We scored 32, but defensively we have been absolutely shocking. This is an interesting stat against Newcastle. United had just 33% possession against Newcastle, their lowest in a Premier League game this season, and their lowest in a league match they have won since 2023. There's winning ugly, and then there's giving the ball away, isn't there? And look, as I said, this squad is paper thin. We need reinforcements. We crave reinforcements. And January the 1st, if they're not on that phone picking up saying, right, who are we looking at, then I don't know what more. That's my soup maker, that is, I can hear. I don't know what more we need, because we've had news coming out today, and we'll go through some of the transfer news before we go through the injury list. The big one is that Fabrizio's come out and said that United are pushing forward with Baleba. Bayern Munich were interested in Baleba, but backed out apparently and said they're not looking at doing anything because of his interest in solely going to Manchester United. January move is still seen as unlikely, but at any moment, January or summer, if Brighton opens the doors for an exit for Baleba, then United remain absolutely interested in the player. Now, look, I'm seeing some aggregates saying, no chance, get rid. We don't want Baleba because he's been appalling this season. And I take it a little bit. I take it on board a little bit. I think there have been games where Baleba's been poor, and I think maybe his head has been turned. But this talent he showed last season, this talent that we all saw, this talent that got us all excited, it didn't go away overnight. I think there is a lot more. I think there's a lot more reasoning as to why this lad is struggling at the moment. And I think it could be the fact that he had his heart set on joining Manchester United in the summer. The problem I go back to is when you've got a club that you play for that are literally saying we want over 100 million, but we're paying you 15 grand a week. You're going to sit there and say, hang on, man, lads, come on now, come on. This is something I've said for a while could happen in January. The main reason it could happen in January is because he's away on international duty at the moment. And strange things happen when you're away. You're away with your agent. You have zero contact with the club face-to-face. You are away. It's one I would keep an eye on in January, chat. Look, we've had the conversations plenty of time about, Anderson, and I love Anderson. I would crawl over broken glass to stick a flag in his shit if it meant him coming to United. I genuinely would. But at this point in time, United aren't there. We're not at the races for that player. We are not. If we get Champions League, then at the end of the season, there could be a different conversation. Same with Wharton. But I think at the moment, Baleba is the big one we'll look at in the January. I genuinely do. There is news coming out about Neves that really, really pissed me off. Don't worry, guys. I've not forgot the comments. I will come back to him in a second. Really pissed me off where it says that apparently United looking at Neves is not really a thing that they're looking to actively push. And there are reports saying that United would only turn to Ruben Neves as a drastic late backup plan. I will say this about the ownership. Let me take a sip of the libation again. Let me take a sip of some libation. So good. So good. And I'm going to get angry for a second. I'm going to get angry. If you're telling me that come the end of January, we're sat there with Conor fucking Gallagher when we could have got Ruben Neves, then I'll be pissed. Because Ruben Neves, Conor Gallagher, there's levels, yeah? And I'm telling you now, Conor Gallagher is nowhere near this level. Conor Gallagher is here. He's here. He's looking up going, how the fucking hell do I get up there? You're mint, you are. Right. Okay. We cannot do that deal. If Ruben Neves is available, go out there and get Ruben Neves before a Premier League team like a Newcastle goes out there, brings him in, and he comes in and he balls. He's a central midfielder. He's a central defensive midfielder. He's a creative player. He can play dead balls. He can pick out passes. He's got an engine. That is what we need. So when I see this news saying that we're looking at it as a drastic late backup, I don't know what the fuck we're talking about. That is the creme de la creme. Go and get Neves. Go and get Neves. I don't want Gallagher anywhere near. Don't want Gallagher anywhere near. I would rather, if you go out and get Neves, you can then utilise the players around and you can build something there. Don't do that. Do not do that. Let me go through some of the comments. Oh, glad I had a sip there. Oh, dearie me. Chappie, good to see you. Good to see you. He says, hello, everyone. The Premier League is very open this season. Everyone having ups and downs. Couldn't agree more. VAR destroying my FPL, disallowing 2 Richarlison goals. I tell you something, chat. I was watching Deji, the Spurs fan. I was watching his watch-along whilst I was sorting the room out. And when he thought that Richarlison had scored to put them 2-0 up, oh, I laughed. He's like loading up the tracks. He's getting ready to do his freestyle. And then he's like, oh, it's offside. Oh, it's offside. Oh, fucking brilliant. It was quality. Yes, AFCON has definitely forced a hand. Definitely. I think he's surprised how that won us the first half, then turtled up in the second half. I agree with that. I think that back four is what really, really helps Heaven too. Yeah, I agree. First half was great, and there was no Ahmed and Brian, which didn't really surprise me. I love that little just a little dig there. We always have that from you, Wahaha, which we love. You're not sold on them, are you? I'll end that poll, guys. 71% of us think that we can get Europe. I will put another poll on in a second. I've seen a couple of reports of a cut price deal to bring Ghana back. Don't know how much it is in it though. We were linked with him in November. Would we? I tell you what, we'll put that in the poll. Let's put it in the poll. I'd take Ghana back at a cut price because I think he's versatile. Would you take Ghana back at United? Yes or no? Would you take Jimmy Garner back? Akko says we don't have to get Belaber and Semenyo too. I watched him play every second for the Black Stars of Ghana, and dude looks like a 1.5 million player. They both can't handle pressure. I'm not asked about. I've said this on Peach Channel a few days ago. I'm not asked about Semenyo at United because my worry is we play him in a 3-4-3. I know the reports come out saying that we would be willing to change the formation, but you can't tell me for 1 second that Ruben Amorim would go, yeah, I'll 4-2-3-1, bring him in. Yeah, we'll do. No, I just don't see it. Gallagher and Neves are completely different type of players, though. They are, Ben. I agree. I just don't think that's what we should be looking for. I don't think Gallagher comes in and sorts this midfield out, especially when you look at what we have got that we could potentially look at. Gallagher would be such. It'd be like one of those. Be one of those signings that'd be so anticlimactic. It'd be like watching the end of Lost all over again. I watched that season after season after season, expecting big things, and then at the end, when it realised that I won't say it just in case people have not watched it, but when I watched the ending, I was like, really? Is that it? Is that? Oh. United need players that can come in and turn us around. Gallagher is not the player that comes in and turns Manchester United around. That I am 100% sure of. I've got no. I wouldn't sit here and say that if I wasn't sure. Now the other news as well. And this is ramped up recently in the last sort of 48 hours quite quickly. Xerxes wants Roma. Loan to buy with 35 million obligation. He wants Roma, okay? United have confirmed that they have received an official bid from Roma for Joshua Xerxes. It is a loan deal with a conditional obligation to buy. United have confirmed through intermediaries that they have received this proposal. I'll ask the question, guys. Does it make us weaker, Xerxes going? Does it make us weaker allowing Xerxes to go out on loan for the rest of the season? Because for me, I don't think it does. Dude scored what? 1 goal, 2 goals? I know Sesko hasn't scored. I know, but Sesko, we're in a bit of a situation with Sesko. I think Sesko, wrong place, right place, wrong time at the moment for him. I think right place, wrong time. I think with the formation, I don't think it works for him. But I don't think him going makes us weaker. I think we've got players around him that could quite easily fill that situation. We've seen when all fit that he does like to play Acuna, Mount, and Brian situation there. Also, Diallo, Ahmad can play there. I don't think it makes us weaker. And if anything, I just wonder if it starts. I wonder if it starts maybe the wheels turning for us bringing players in, because we know. If you believe some reports that Manchester United apparently have around 65 million to spend so far for January. I think getting him off the wage bill, maybe getting a bit of money for that. I wonder if it pushes us to be able to go out there and sign somebody. I don't see I'll be honest with you, I don't see a world where come the end of January we are sat there going, thank God Xerxes still here. And wahaha, I know you love him, and I appreciate that, but I just think maybe United are looking at it and going, if we can get rid, we can get rid. We'll look at somebody else. And like I've said just so many times before, bring Welbeck back, for Christ's sake. Welbeck would dance his way to Manchester United. He would dance his way to Old Trafford, given one final opportunity to come in and do his bit for us. I think we could go and do that deal. I genuinely do. Carl says Ahmad and Brian are currently facing each other at the African Cup of Nations. If with Baleba playing too, hopefully have a good chat about him signing. Maybe. I don't think Gallagher or Neves are what we need. I'd rather stick with what we have until the summer. Oh, Ben, I'm not sure about that, dude. I'm not sure about that. I'd take Neves over Agate, bang, like that, straight away. I would take Neves over Agate. Boom. Agate's had one decent appearance. I don't think I wouldn't want him. I wouldn't want to miss out on him. Carl says no, he doesn't. Chappie says no. Ben says after that Newcastle performance from Xerxes, he wouldn't be missed. Good to see you, Anthony. Hope you are well, my dude. He says, I'm sorry I'm late. You're not late, mate. Don't worry about it. Good to see you. I'd rather give Chida Obi some minutes in this team. I don't know what's happened to that lad. I don't know. I've just seen that comment. I'll come back to that, Carl. I know. Do you know something today? When look at that, flexing a bit there. When I saw he scored, I went, "Oh bollocks! Where is that book? Oh, hang on a minute. Is it? Have I still got it? I think I threw it. No, it's not there. I think I've. Hang on a minute. Is it there? Hang on. I think I rubbed it out, to be fair. No, that's granite. I think I threw the fucking thing away, but Jesus Christ. Yeah, look, you say it's wrong. You say you get it wrong, don't you? But, I mean, he's done well. And watch him fucking score against us as well. Some people are saying late call up for England. I don't think that. Ruben Neves, a Baleba next menu with Brian, right mid, and Ahmad, left mid with Cunha in the cap. And Sesko striker would be good. It would. Amorim currently not wanting to play for 6 or 12 months complicates our winter window. There's a lot to be said. I think a lot has been taken out of context with what he said there. Because, look, Manchester United have made signings in the past that you look at and you go, we shouldn't have done that. And I can see what he's saying now. I think, to be honest, what he is basically saying is, look, if I need a player and it's to suit this, then I want them to go and get it now. I don't want none of this bullshit about, oh, well, I can bring him in and then maybe we can. I don't want that, because we've seen us bring players in that we don't really want and it's not worked out. So I think I do kind of get what Amorim said there. I do agree. I think if we're going out there and getting players, then absolutely just go out there and get the player in that we need straight away. Steal a march on these other clubs, but well, we'll see. What else have we got here? I've got that one. That Aeon shirt behind you is fire. That's Kev's. That is. I've got to give Kev that shirt back. I've got some new ones. Thank you, United. Good to see you, mate. Despite the shocking performances and results, somehow we are on the cusp of fourth with half the team missing. In Amorim, we trust. Wow. I mean, we trust. Yeah, I'm not sure we trust yet, but I think. Look, he's not done himself any harm, has he? 55% of you have said no to taking Jimmy Garner back at United. Interesting. I'd have took him back. Could be some other interesting players looking for minutes outside. What we're saying, outsiders that have been mentioned with it being World Cup year 2 as well. Maybe. Yes, come on, United. We got a massive game on Tuesday. I can't wait, and not trusted at all. Back in brigade, says Ben. I'll pin that, Ben. I'll pin that because you've been very consistent, mate. Let me pin that message. There you go. That's pinned to the top, mate. That's pinned to the top. And Leacher CDM. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Right. Let's go through some of the. Let's go through some injury news because I think it's interesting. I think it's something we need to know. And quickly. How did I see? How did I feel seeing Malacia get minutes? I'll get a T-shirt printed. I was there when Malacia played for United. He wasn't awful, was he? But look, hopefully there are some people in the wings going, "Oh, Malacia played. We should maybe have a look at him. Hopefully it helps him go on." Go on, Dan. Argued. I didn't argue it. I just said he shouldn't be starting there. He lost to Ange in the European Cup final. He'll need more than a stinky win versus Newcastle to fix that. Love that. Wahaha. Right. So injuries updates. So at the moment, we are scheduled to get potentially 3 or 4 back for the game against Wolves. Bruno, we know, is going to be out for a while, but there is talk that Mason Mount was taken off as a precaution. Mason Mount felt something. He wanted to play on, but ultimately Amorim said, "No, we're not going to risk it. Bring you back. You can ride it out until the next game." There is talk that Kobe Mainoo could be back in the squad for Wolves, but it is more realistic that it would be Leeds away. And then we have got, again, it's a possibility that De Ligt and Maguire are back for Wolves. Now, that strengthens the squad because I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to be greedy now against Wolves. And Kevin, I'll be doing the prediction and the preview for Wolves tomorrow. But I'm going to be greedy because I absolutely want Manchester United now against Wolves to go out there and absolutely wallop them. And yes, there are players missing, but this is the worst. This is the worst team we've seen in the Premier League ever. It is, and I say that with bitterness because I know people who support Wolves, and I've got friends who support Wolves, but this team is dusty. It's dead. Manchester United need to sort out that goal difference. We need to put 4 past them again. I want us to put 4 past them. With the players we've got available, we can quite easily put 4 past them. With the players coming back, it should help us to do that. I do worry about the double pivot with Casemiro and with Agate. I don't want us to go defensive against this team. They've got Andre missing. Could help us, but I want, and you know what, Akko, I've got to back you on this, mate. I've got to back you on this. Sesko had better score some fucking goals. Like, this isn't Sesko's fault. What I'm saying is Sesko had better score some goals to be able to turn around to some of these bloody pundits and say, shut your mouth. I mean, look, I got asked the other night about, have you seen that Rasmus is scoring? Brilliant. Good for Rasmus. Couldn't give a flying hoot. The more he scores, the more money we get. I really don't care about Rasmus anymore. He's tried to do his little cocky fucking messages on social media and all that. I don't care, mate. You come to United, you bummed out. You were awful. You were ridiculous. Go and enjoy yourself in Italy, whatever. I want Sesko to succeed. And when I said before about being the right place, wrong time, I think Sesko in old formations would have been fantastic with people coming off the wings, with Bruno playing just behind him. We need to serve this lad up. We need to serve him some goals. I need this guy getting a brace against Wolves. That is what I need. If we can get a brace off him against Wolves, going into the game against Leeds, there will be a bit more confidence there. Because, look, we don't have the squad at the moment to be playing people around and pulling him out of the formation. If anything, this should be his time now to go out there and get some goals and do something. So that's what I want. That is what I pray. Pure magic, and to be fair, he was really good. Just not, yeah, he was. Look, he was. I thought Martinez was quality. And as we've seen in the last game or against Arsenal, Wolves will beat themselves if the other team ain't up for it. Yeah, agree. Against Wolves this time result needs to be a minimum of 7-0. If Sesko gives his 100%, he will score a hat-trick and maybe more. I would love a 7-0. I would love it. Dorgu has scored the same as Wirtz. Does that mean he's worth 150 million now? Honestly, Cunha is not going to help. Do you know something? This comment here, this does need to be spoken about. Cunha sometimes, I will say, he will hold that ball a bit too long. He will try and. We saw it against who was it? It was against Villa when Shea Lacey had come on and he was wide right. Sesko picks the ball up, takes it around some people, and we are away. All he needs to do is lay it off to Shea Lacey to give him a better opportunity to whip his left foot around it. He ends up holding onto the ball for 3 or 4 passes, 2 more, and then releases the ball. And by that point, the chance has gone. So Cunha, I get what Cunha's trying to do. He's trying to sometimes drag this Manchester United team through, trying to drag them up the pitch, trying to do his bit to push us up the table. But sometimes, Cunha, you're not alone. As Michael Jackson once sang, you are not alone. Sesko is here with you. Though we're far away. I'm not going to finish it. I'll get copyrighted. Doesn't need to worry about doing it all on his own. This AFCON is evil for European football. I mean, they can't play it in the summer though, can they? Because the heat would just be, it wouldn't be safe for footballers. Liverpool have made some of the worst signings of the summer transfer. I'll let you have that, Carl. You worked for that one, dude. Cunha's ex-team going to get battered, says United. Agree with that. Fluid front three, not a single striker. Sesko may not be scoring, but he really is important to the goals that we do get. He got an assist against Bournemouth. I thought he was okay against Newcastle first half. I thought he put himself around. I thought he battled, and that's all you can ask. And that's where my argument was, where I said, where Xerxes come on, and it was just like, meh. So, we are at the end of the month. So we will do this. Let's go through our next few fixtures, and let's try and see where we think, as a community, Manchester United will be. Oh, God, just looking at January, the end of it is disgusting. It was fucking one of yous. Disgusting. All right, let me share the out screen. Where are we? Right, here we go. Screen shared. I'm on. Right, okay, so let's not look at that a second. Do not look at that a second. What I want you to do is I want you to follow what I'm asking here. So, Wolves, win, lose, or draw against Wolves. What are we saying? Win, lose, or draw against Wolves. Put a W, a win, a W, a D, or an L. I'd like to think it's I can't comment myself because it won't let me do it. But, well, it will let me do it, actually. What am I talking about? I'm going to put mine in there. So I'm going to put big dub. Big dub. I think we're all in agreement there that we have to beat Wolves. Like, Wolves is going to be a 3 points. And Anthony, you are completely right. Win, nothing else is acceptable. Kev gone in with a... Okay. Leeds away. Early kickoff on Sunday. A week today. What are we saying? We have to beat Leeds. I hate Leeds. I think we beat Leeds as well, regardless of Dominic Calvert-Lewin going and getting his goals. I think we beat Leeds. I genuinely do. So I'm going with the W. The W. The W. We're going with a what? What? Kev's gone with the D. I didn't even mean to do that one, Kev, to be fair, mate. I'm sorry. Kev's gone with a draw. Sorry, Kevin. Kevin! I apologise. Leeds played well. Second half, it'll be tough. Jamie's gone with a win. Ben's gone with a win. Mustafa, good to see you. My man's gone with a win. There's Wahaha. Okay, so we've got a couple going with a draw. Chappie's gone with a draw as well. Okay. Burnley away. Wednesday night kickoff, 8:15. I think we go and beat Burnley. I think Burnley, the last few weeks I've watched them, I think they're trash. I think they're awful. Like, at the start of the season, I was like, these have got a bit of fight about them. But this is what Scott Parker does. Scott Parker and the Premier League as a manager don't go together. They just don't go together. So I think we get a win there as well. Everyone's gone with a W. A W. W. I'll go with a W as well. Mustafa says Burnley are 19th, must win. Carl says Wolves and Burnley, we should look to improve our goal difference as much as we can. Jamie says 5-0. Chappie's gone with a win. Simple win. Simple win. Kev's gone with a W, a win. Very, very good. Okay, then we come to the FA Cup against Brighton. It's at home. It's another Sunday. I do you know something? I'm putting a win for this one. And the reason I'm putting a win for this one is simple. We have to. We have to. Like, Amorim will have to go all out for this. He has to beat Brighton. He has to. Because we are out of every competition, bar the Premier League and the FA Cup. We need that win more than anything. We need to go as far in this composition as we can. So I say W because we have to. We absolutely have to. Kev's gone with a win. Anthony says, again, their form, we should win. Ben's gone with a loss. Oof. Carl's gone with a win on penalties. Brighton. Wahaha says Brighton are awful. A W. Chappie says a loss. Oof. We got knocked out by Grimsby, must win. Do we have AFCON players back for that? Potentially, because hang on a second. I'll bring it. I won't put it on that one. Fixtures, AFCON. I think the way it works. Wednesday, 11th of January. We wouldn't. No, I don't think we will. I don't. We got the. So it depends. If any of our boys were to get knocked out of the round of 16, that would be the 4th of January, 5th of January, and 6th of January. Traveling back, I think you may get them in the squad, but I don't think that they'd start. I don't. Win. Don't think Brighton have been good, says Jamie. And Derby, Bruno will be back. I'm backing a win. Well, let's go. Let's go. Have they figured out who is playing for Cameroon yet? May end up home really early. I think they'd be back if they don't get out the group stage and stop getting so far ahead, Mustafa. We're going to do this as a community. So we are going to go Manchester City again at home. So United against Manchester City. This is a massive game. This will show if we have the minerals to go and push for Champions League. I'll say it. The results, if we get 9 points in the next 3 games, Champions League at that point will be on. It will be there for us to try and compete and try and get in with. I think we draw against City. And I don't think that's a horrendous result, by the way. Mustafa says a win. Carl says City, I'd be happy with a draw. Ben says a draw. Can we just not look after Brighton, says Anthony. Draw, says Jamie. Wahaha says win. Kev says a win. Anthony says a draw. And then, it's 7 at the back. And then we've got Arsenal. That rounds. So I would say, looking at the Cup of Nations, the final's on the 18th of January. So quarters are on the 10th. So I would be saying that there is a chance that we get a lot of them back, potentially, judging on how far they go deep into that competition. We should have a few of the lads back from AFCON by the 17th. If not the 17th, I think for definite we will have them for Arsenal. Arsenal, Arsenal are weird, man. Arsenal are weird. I can't lie. Arsenal are weird. I'll go with a loss away at Arsenal because our away form isn't the best. Our away form isn't the best. I'd go for a win. Haven't been great recently, says Carl. Mustafa says Arsenal a loss. Ben says a draw. Wahaha says Arsenal's trash. They play the worst football you've ever seen. A win. 11 at the back. An L, unfortunately, says Anthony. And I've said an L. And Kev's said an L. Okay. 4 own goals in 6 games has won them the past 3 games, says Carl. I agree. Win Arsenal. They are bottling it. People are backing us to beat Arsenal, man. I fucking love that. I love that. There we are then, folks. Let's have one more look at that beautiful table. Let's have one more look at the table. And this, look, if you'd have said to me at the start of the season that come the midway point throughout the season, we would be 3 points off 4th place, I would have said absolutely not. I would have said that if we would have been somewhere near 8th, 7th, sort of 8th and 9th, then I'd have been happy. It would have given us a chance to push on. We go back to the fine margins in games. We do. And we wonder just how different the table would have looked if we'd have got those results against Fulham, against Forest, against Spurs. And this happens, doesn't it? This happens. But that table, guys, doesn't look terrible. And that is not just because that's not because we've been great. It's because other teams have been poor around us. But going into the new year, who have Chelsea got? I think Chelsea have got, let's have a look at the round of fixtures for the Premier League. Let me bring them up. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Are they all playing on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? So hang on, who else is it Wednesday? Oh, Thursday. Okay. So these are the fixtures. Let me just zoom them in a second. These are the fixtures on hang on a minute. Stop sharing. 2 seconds, chat. Share the out screen and let's get that up. Right, perfect. This is the round of fixtures on Tuesday. And as you can see there, Newcastle go away to Burnley. Chelsea are at home to Bournemouth. Bournemouth have struggled, Joe. So Chelsea, I'd be amazed if Chelsea drop points there. Forest against Everton, big game for Wolfies boys, I tell you, because they're struggling. West Ham against Brighton. Arsenal against Villa. That is a massive game. Because if for some reason, you think to yourself, do you know what? There's a chance that we could catch up. 3 points, it would put us 7 behind Villa if Villa lost. If Villa win, then you would have to say, my God, Villa are in a title race. You'd have to say that. You would have to say Villa are in a title race. It's going to be an interesting night, man. It's going to be an interesting night. I'm intrigued. I'm quite happy that we kick off 45 minutes after the likes of Newcastle, Chelsea, Forest. I'm going to try and do it that we have the Vidi printer. Kev, if you're listening, I'm going to try and do it that we've got the Vidi printer on the live stream. Oh, there we go. Perfect. He's going to put the other game on as well. Nice one, Kev. But I'll put the video printer as well, I think. It might come. I finish. Sorry, lad. Sorry, I'm having a private conversation here with Kev. I finish at 3 every day this week, so we'll have a look at that. Villa in a title race, says Mustafa. Look, you can't disagree. Villa are storming. If Villa win against Arsenal, yeah. That's what you mean, Villa. Yeah, I agree. I think Bournemouth will beat Chelsea. Oh, God. Honestly, Ben, I hope so. I absolutely hope so. I would love it. I would absolutely love it. If we win until AFCON's return, will they get straight back in? It's a good question, Chappie. It's something that we want to look. We've not had this for a long time with Manchester United. Ruben Amorim, I will say this: if a player's performing, he will keep him in. He will. The only reason he did it with Sesko is because it changed with the formation we were playing against Liverpool. But I think the likes of, if the likes of Cunha and that are doing well, I think it's good. It's competition. Competition's what we need. Top 5 is on. We just need to be consistent. Oh, honestly. And Carl says the table is a lot better site than last year. That's for sure. I agree. Let me just see if I can find Premier League table at Xmas 2024. Oh, I can find it. This was us. Let me save this. That is a weird name that's saved as. Let me bring up the table this time last year, guys. Downloads. Wow. That was the table this time last season. Yikes. Manchester United this time last season, man. Can I do that? Oh, it looks a bit shit like that. We'll go back to that. No, I'm not. Nobody puts Dan in the corner. That is absolutely incredible, isn't it? Isaac's joined at the right time because Forest were actually Champions League contenders there. That is incredible. But again, I will say this: what's the difference between this season? So it's 7 points. 29 points last season. Yeah, we'd have been in Champions League. I mean, there is obvious proof there that Manchester United are moving in the right direction. Sometimes it doesn't feel like it, but that is scary to see, isn't it? My God, that is crazy. Look, wow. That's a real eye-opener, guys. Real eye-opener. How can you watch that filth? He's not watching that filth. We had 42 points at the end of last season, and that's a great comment as well, Carl, because we are on 29 at the moment. We need 13 points. Carl, that is the comment of the fucking night. If we win the next 3 games against Wolves, Leeds, and Burnley, we are 3 points off where we finished last season, if my maths is correct. 4 points. I'm like that fucking guy. And my maths is correct. Up the Villa, says James Saunders. Yeah. Honestly, mate, James, I was buzzing for you lot last night. I was absolutely buzzing. I think Chelsea disrespected you. I think they, because of what happened in the first half, they thought it was just going to be a walkover. Second half, you come out, and I thought you were Unai Emery, man. Like Unai Emery is just, he's elite, isn't he? He's absolutely elite. I'm going to ask Potts this next time I see him. I wonder if they'd have given Emery the time at Arsenal to change the team completely, whether they'd have won the league with Emery in charge, but who knows. Anyway, guys, we will be back tomorrow night at 7 p.m. I've got something on at 8. 7 p.m. tomorrow, we will be back. We will be doing that's a goal again. Honestly, that's the first thing I fucking thought about. You know, he scored 19 goals in 40 appearances. You know, you do the math, that's a goal a game. What a donut, man. We'll be back at 7, Kev and I, with the Wolves preview. It's been good to get back to you guys. I hope you've all had a great Christmas. Hi, Joe. Good to see you, my love. We'll be back. Don't worry. Well, I have had an invitation. That's all I'm going to say. But look, I hope you've all had a smashing, fantastic Christmas, guys. I have had that tells you all you need to know. That is the Christmas I have had. I can't wait to speak to you all tomorrow. Thank you very much for joining. Make sure you hit don't hit it. Smash the like button. Smash the subscribe button. Let's get our goal. Let's try and hit that 2K before the end of the season. You've all been superstars. Adore each and every one of you. I will see you on the flip side. Dan United, Brian Brigade, back in Brigade. Ota.